Welcome in the latest episode of the What I Bet podcast on the pregame.com podcast network. You can find us on the Straight Outta Vegas AM feed, wherever you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those sort of things. I'm your host, the real underscore G Warner, back from Mexico with a sickness in many places of my being at this point. All I can say is don't eat the mango on the street. Not really a fruit person, but somehow got conned into it, and I've been paying the price, including on multiple flights and in a World Cup match in Monterey on Sunday night. But we're here, we're alive, we've made it so far. We'll see if we can keep up waking up the next morning. Tonight's episode, we're gonna go through the World Cup on June 17th. I already skipped a month. Major League Baseball on June 17th. I'll give a what I bet, best bet coming in of show, and we'll save you some money at pregame.com. So, it's been a really great World Cup so far. Had a really rough Tuesday, unfortunately. But we will avenge that. We will come back stronger than ever, and we'll start with some big matchup. Honestly, the biggest matchup looks like it's at 3 p.m. Central Time, which is probably better than staying up till whatever. It's halftime of Austria and Jordan right now at approximately midnight Central Time. So we'll start with Portugal and the Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. So obviously these are lopsided matches. This is a lopsided matchup. Portugal with probably the most recognized striker in the world, a lot because Lionel Messi is more of a number 10. But Cristiano Ronaldo probably will see Erling Haaland and Lionel Messi and seemingly everyone who's anyone on any team with 2 goals ready to start this tournament. And so he probably has, as a lot of people are saying on Twitter, that he's going to shoot a lot of shots tomorrow. That might not be so good for Portugal, though he is certainly at the tip of the spear. They've got enough midfield creators, all those sort of things. They basically have what feels like 10 Messis. I guess not the goalkeeper, but because he's a giant and Diego Costa. But 9 Messis, Ronaldo, and a goalkeeper is pretty much what Portugal will throw out there. And the big question is, can the DR Congo defend? We saw it a lot with AFCON this winter. There weren't a lot of goals scored in the Africa Cup of Nations, which was a month-long event running through, I think, January and maybe February. I think it's only really time, despite being during the most popular season for football leagues in the world. But you got to find a time to play in Africa when the heat isn't incredibly bad. So I guess United States, Mexico, World Cup. Kind of testing those lows or highs, to say the least. But the Congo really have made this tournament, have qualified for a lot of things more than expected in recent seasons, especially with their current Ebola outbreak. But they've done a great job of defending and not conceding opportunities at all to teams in Africa. Now, here's the big question is can they do that against a Portuguese side that are going to kill them with possession? Killing me softly, except Portugal is going to do it slowly, methodically, and that's going to be really hard for the Congo to deal with. Currently, the DRC are a plus 1.5 underdog, totals 2.5 on this one. It was as high as 1 3/4 as underdog and 2 3/4 as a total. So we've seen some money coming in on the Congo, DRC, some coming in on under, and I feel like I'm my biggest interest is under in this matchup. I think I need a climb here because if it lands 3, which is a pretty big number in soccer, though we saw a lot of goals scored on Tuesday, June 16th. Um, we've seen very few goals this tournament, and I gotta say, there's not a lot that I'm expecting for this whole tournament up and down. Yes, one day can certainly um, reduce some profits that we've made so far this tournament, but one day will not decide how things are going to go for us in this tournament. So, biggest interest under 2.5, even money right now. All the juice is on the over, so you probably have some 2 3/4 out there. I'd wait to see some money coming in from the Cristiano Ronaldo CR7 fanboys. Yeah, the public money doesn't make up a ton of movement, but generally they go over, generally they go favorite. So we'll see how big the DRC number gets before noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, or today, I guess. It's already technically the 17th here in Dallas, Texas. Move next to the England-Croatia match, which I think is the most interesting to most everybody. Would be going to this one if I didn't get my visa hacked and start buying Pinterest ads in Dublin. I guess they know how I look. But in terms of the spread and total here, initially Croatia were 1 goal underdog, which is obscene. They've been bet through that and are actually pretty juiced. Plus 3/4 of a goal. It means half your bet is at plus one half the bet is plus one. And England are one of the better teams, favorites to win this tournament, but they've had some of the worst luck history, all those sort of things combined. And that's not really a great look for them, especially as a big favorite against what to me is a really capable team as I reach for something to blow my nose with. Because, Mexico, call Mexico. Uh, with all that said, I think the total here is 2.25. Juiced very heavily to over. It's way below the number I made it, and I think that's probably too low for me to get involved. I do think Croatia can control possession of this game, which is probably why the total is so low, and honestly makes the underdog that much more valuable to me. So we'll be waiting for a +1 to pop up. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I don't want to lose the plus 3/4 of the goal, so I'll play Croatia at plus 3/4 of the goal here. To the night window, we'll go to Ghana and Panama. Currently, Ghana, well, they were a quarter goal favorite for pretty much, or half a goal favorite, and initially saw the numbers very juiced on the Panama side. It's fallen to a quarter of a goal. Still, Ghana are made a favorite, though they haven't scored much in any competition that I've seen. They somehow found a way into the World Cup when others like Nigeria didn't make it. But Panama, you could argue they don't have much talent, but they had to fight to get into the CONCACAF automatic bid or to get into this tournament, whereas the United States, Mexico, Canada all were just gifted their positions. So I like that setup for Ghana, or excuse me, for Panama. Portugal underdogs definitely lost a little bit of value, but still like them. Total in this one's 2.25, juiced very heavily to under. And I think we see very few goals. This could be one of those goalless draws, which will look great when it's not Spain, and it'll look great for under and underdog. Last game of the night is 9 p.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, so 1 hour earlier 2 hour, 1 hour, 2 hours earlier than on Tuesday night for some reason. Uzbekistan are a 1.25 goal underdog with all the juice on Colombia. Colombia is also one of the bigger, higher priced teams versus my numbers entering this tournament. I've been looking to be against them, and this is the first opportunity. Total in this one is 2.5. It's barely moved since I've been tracking it. We saw Uzbekistan open a 1 goal underdog with a ton of juice on Colombia, and that's climbed to 1.25. It looks like it's destined to head towards 1.5. I'm not a believer in this Colombia side. The problem for me is I just don't know how good Uzbekistan is, and I don't really think they're good. So we'll move now to the Major League Baseball portion of the show. We do have a way to save you some money at pregame.com coming up. And then, of course, we'll give you what I bet best bet. We were a push on the last episode before we changed podcast platforms to the Cincinnati Reds under 8, which saw, unfortunately, two runs in the first 5 innings. And I usually try to tell you to split first half and game. But we saw six runs. Goals are on the mind. We saw 6 runs in the last 4. So that was brutal. We'll start at the 12:40 Eastern Time first pitch. This is Cincinnati Reds back on the mind again with Nolan McLean starting for the New York Mets. They're in Cincinnati taking on Nick Lodolo. Currently, the Mets are -129 favorite. Total is 9, and this one just a little bit more to over. I don't know that you can trust either of these starting arms. So for me, at this point, I guess I lean over. I don't love them in getaway day games. That never seems to work well for me. Lodolo, I enjoy really fading him. Faded him his last start at home against Arizona. Really just like betting against him in general. But I do like the home underdog plus 117. We'll move next to Miami Marlins, Sandy Alcantara on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, and Andrew Painter. Alcantara getting a lot of respect, -101 underdog here, -109 for Philly. Total is 9 in this one. Again, just a little bit more to under. Alcantara is back. He is who he was before. The big and honestly, the Marlins started off this month of June really, really strongly. Well, we're halfway through now, and things have tailed off a little bit. Hard for a low budget team to be the best team in baseball an entire month. But Andrew Painter, who's basically there's no room in the Phillies rotation for Ranger Suarez because of Andrew Painter. He has not delivered yet. He's been okay, but not good enough, in my opinion. So I lean to Sandy Alcantara's side, but I need a lot more, at least a plus 100, which is 1 cent away. So it's not impossible that'd be out there right now. But I want some Philly money to come in. I don't know that it will. Moving next to a 105 Eastern first pitch, same time as this Philly game starts. And that's the Kansas City Royals and Luis Avila, or Luangel Avila, something Avila, on the road at the Washington Nationals and Zach Littell. Littell -127 favorite. Total in this one is 9.5, juice -120 to over. So all the juice is on over right now. I believe in the Nats offense. I don't believe in their bullpen. Kansas City's bullpen has been really bad also, so that doesn't really seem much of a demerit. And I think I'd rather have the home team here. So give me -127 on the Washington Nationals. We'll move next to a 2:10 Eastern Time start. The Detroit Tigers and Casey Mize on the road at Houston and Philip Lambert. Currently Mize coming off the IL -105 is the number on both sides, underdog I guess there isn't one. But Tigers minus 105, Astros minus 105, total is 8.5, minus 115 to under. I'm waiting to see Casey Mize move to an underdog plus 100 or better. Back to Tigers on Tuesday night with Framber Valdez's return to Houston. And I like what Casey Mize has done. He just needs to get that groin, hamstring, all those sort of things right. I think it's probably healthy as it'll be in his first start back off the IL because they're not bringing that former number one pick back unless they felt very healthy. Let's move next to the Tampa Bay Rays and Shane McClanahan on the road at the Los Angeles Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. What a matchup that is. McClanahan plus 158 underdogs, probably the biggest we'll see all season, maybe at the Bronx or something like that when Judge is back. Total is 7.5, minus 110 both ways. Ohtani's a big favorite here. I lean to the Rays. Let's move next to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and Samuele Aldieri, Italian-born pitcher for the Angels, visiting the Arizona Diamondbacks and Eduardo Rodriguez. Currently, Aldieri at plus 149 underdog. Total is 9, minus 110 both ways on that one. Too big a favor for me to back Eduardo Rodriguez. I think the lean is to over 9 here. Probably not to the Angels, but that's the only side I'd want. Now to the night slate, we'll go to Max Scherzer starting on the road in Boston for the Toronto Blue Jays at the Boston Red Sox and Jason Bennett. Bennett minus 122 favorite, 111 coming back on Max Scherzer. Total is 9.5, juice minus 115 to under. I need to see a lot more of Bennett. I haven't actually seen him pitch yet. Don't believe in the Red Sox. They've been worse at home because apparently they have more distractions there than anywhere. That makes me interested in the old man, different colored eyed Mad Max, but it's really hard to know how healthy he is because he hasn't been for, I don't know, 5 years now. Next, we go to the Bronx for the Chicago White Sox and Anthony Kay on the road at former White Sox. White Sox. White Sox is how I prefer to say it. Carlos Rodon. He's a minus 185 favorite, 167 coming back on Chicago. Totals 8.5, minus 110 both ways. I don't believe in Anthony Kay. He's had some good luck, performance, combination of the things, results so far this year. I don't really believe that's going to continue. So I don't think I want anything, maybe over an 8.5 in that matchup. Next, go to San Francisco and Atlanta. Robbie Ray at JR Ritchie. Currently, Ritchie minus 135 favorite, 122 coming back on the Giants. Total is 9. Choose all the way to over minus 120. I think we see runs in this game as well. A little bit of rain, I think, suspended tonight's game on Tuesday. I don't know what that's going to do for pitching. I don't know what it's going to do for if they're going to start an earlier game or figure out what they're going to do there. That's a lot of complications for over. So we'll move next to the Cleveland Guardians. They are visiting the Milwaukee Brewers. And somehow I have the wrong picture here, so I'm going to do this live. So, Cleveland Guardians and Gavin Williams. He was supposed to pitch a while ago, but the rain has certainly not been. I think he's supposed to pitch on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Brandon Sproat pitching for the Milwaukee Brewers. Pretty similar arms, considering Gavin Williams is really good and the Brewers get a premium at home. I'll give a little bit of love to the Milwaukee bullpen, and by that means I'll do nothing with their team total or the Guardians team total. That only brings me to a minus 122 favorite on Milwaukee total at 8.75. Feels a little low to me, so I'm probably coming in a little bit low on that one, but let's see what happens in this matchup. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Get the calculator going. Okay. I know this is really great podcasting, but this is what happens when the starting pitcher is written down wrong by me. So Gavin Williams plus 104. So I'm actually underselling his chances a little bit. Total's 8, juice very heavily to under. So there's a lot of belief in Gavin Williams here. Guess the Major League Baseball marketplace likes him with a lot more rest. Williams plus 104 underdog, currently minus 115 on Brandon Sproat. I lean to the Guardians. We'll move next to the Colorado Rockies with no total because they're in Chicago on the north side to play in Wrigley. Javier Assad, who won a best bet for us on pregame.com on Friday night. He's a minus 180 favorite, which is nosebleed levels for him, plus 162 on the Rockies, but they are the Rockies. To the West Coast, we got 2 more games, and then we get a best bet here, or what I bet best bet, plus a promo code to save you some money at pregame.com. The Baltimore Orioles are starting Kyle Bradish on the road at Seattle Mariners and George Kirby. Kirby minus 140 favorite totals. Money line on the Orioles is plus 127. Total 7.5. This one juiced minus 115 over. That shows a lot of respect to me in this number for George Kirby just George Kirby in general, because the money line is bigger than I expected. The spread is bigger, or excuse me, the total is smaller than I expected. we haven't seen George Kirby perform in a long time, so I'm just not really sure where this all comes from. Bradish has started the year off really poorly after an incredible return from Tommy John to the end of 2025, showed some signs and then was poor on the road in Toronto. I got to do some digging, but I do like Kyle Bradish plus 127 because I like the idea of fading George Kirby, even with how good Seattle's been at home. Last game on the card, and that was Pittsburgh Pirates and Braxton Ashcraft on the road, the Athletics, and Aaron Savale. Currently, Savale a plus 101 underdog. Right now, the Pirates minus 111 favorites on the road. Total is 10, juice minus 110 both ways. It's a low total that reflects Braxton Ashcraft, as does the road favorite, Pittsburgh Pirates. They have a really bad bullpen. Their lineup is not hitting, or at least coming back to where we thought they'd be. A lot, maybe because of Cruz's absence, though he's been bad for a while. Problem is, I don't know who's back in Aaron Savale. Maybe there's enough there as a home underdog, but I'm looking for Ashcraft to move to underdog, and I don't even know that I want that to happen. We'll now move to the Save You Money portion of the What I Bet episode. This is episode 50, by the way. Thanks for hanging out with me at the real underscore G Warner across all social media platforms. It's been huge to get my own show on the pregame.com podcast network and to be out there. I appreciate all that I've been doing. Any feedback, suggestion, hit me up at the real underscore G Warner across any social media platform. So use promo code KICK50, Kilo, India, Charlie, start this again. Kilo, India, Charlie, Kilo, 50, good $50 off the all access bridge to football. Get every best bet in every sport from your favorite pro all the way to the Hall of Fame game on August 6th. You don't have to pick me, Griffin Warner, though you could. Feel free to pick any of your favorite handicappers at pregame.com. Use the promo code KICK50, save $50, pay only $199 with your coupon code. And it's good through 6/29, so you got 12 days to use it. Get out there and get in there. Trying not to blow my nose on camera or on a podcast. So let's get through it. Appreciate all you hanging out with me and finding some way to get through this event because it's been a rough, let's say, 4 days for me and my insides. For my best bet on this What I Bet podcast, let us go with the Atlanta Braves minus 135. I just sell the Giants whenever I can. So let's do it on this episode. 3, 2, 1. Hey, this is real underscore G Warner. This is What I Bet Best Bet, the exclusive video edition as the guns are out. Just kidding, trying to find something clean because all my clothes are in the wash as I just got back from Mexico. You can hear it in my nose. You can probably see it in my stomach, but no one's looking at that, fortunately. But the What I Bet Best Bet, we were a push on the last episode, Cincinnati Reds under 8. That was June 8th, so it was a while ago. We've changed podcast platforms. I'm back from Mexico. Let's get on this train to some winter town, and let's go with the Atlanta Braves at minus 135 favorite at home. J.R. Ritchie against Robbie Ray. I'm not really listing pitchers here because I expect the Braves to win this game, and I don't really think that J.R. Ritchie potentially starting behind an opener impacts too much. Plus, the suspended game on Tuesday does complicate things a little bit. We'll see how this number goes, but I just feel like the Braves at home against a team like San Francisco, who I've been trying to bet against as much as possible this season, with a manager who's never done it at pro level, never played it, never coached it, all of a sudden gets hired in by Buster Posey, who has no idea what he's doing. It's pretty much where I'm sitting, and I'm staying that way, staying the course. Let's go Braves minus 135. We'll see you in the next episode.